It's too bright. Gotta keep it covered. Gotta keep it covered. I have this morning I'm drinking tea. Ooh. Hibiscus tea. Put it on my earrings to give y'all some razzle dazzle. I seen these earrings. Oh shoot, what piece of here? I seen these earrings. There was a what is that called? TikTok has a TikTok shop. And it's kind of like the home shopping network where it's live streaming of people selling products. I seen a man on there doing a live stream of jewelry. And he was promoting this exact earring. This exact earring. I kid you not, this exact earring. Want to guess how much he was selling this earring for? This earring he was selling for was like $25. $25. Let's look at the detail. You see the earring? Look up close. You see? You see that? He was selling this earring for $25. $25. Guess where I got this earring? I didn't get it from him. Guess where I got this earring? Look at the detail. It's pretty. Is it $25 pretty? No, it's not $25 pretty. Look at the back. Look how it's made in the back. $25 earring. I got this for 99 cents on Shein months and months and months and months ago. This was 99 cents. He was selling it for $25. And I wrote a comment in the comment section while he was trying to sell it. I said, you can get that for 99 cents. Let me tell you something. That man blocked me. He sure did. He blocked me out of that live stream. As soon as I said that earring was 99 cents on Shein, that man blocked me out of that chat. He kicked me out. I guess he's like, you ain't gonna ruin my money. I need a pillow. Can you, sir? I cannot help you. You gotta go to Walmart and get you a pillow to lay on. I can't help you. I can't help, sir. You better go sleep in your car. You better go sleep in the vehicle. You know what I mean? You need somewhere to lay your head. What's really going on? What's really going on, sir? You need somewhere to lay your head. I feel you. You know. I am soft, but I'm mean. I'll be a mean pillow to lay on. I am not nice. I would be the meanest pillow to lay on. Mm-hmm. Gotta put on a little bit of face. Hello, how you doing? Oh, you back again. Oh, you don't play around. You get that notification, you like, yes, I got something to do this morning. It's Sunday morning. Well, as you can tell, I'm not going to church. I mean, I don't go to church, to be honest. I don't go to church. But I believe in Jesus. I just can't sit there for 3 hours in the church house. That's all. That's the only problem I got. I sat in the church house for years with my grandma and them. I can't do it. And then my grandma, she would be stingy with the candy in her purse. It's like, give me a piece of candy so I can preoccupy myself while I'm listening to this long sermon because he preaching to so-and-so because they went to the club last night and came home drunk. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Hello? Yeah. My grandma used to have me in church for hours. Just hours and hours. The man saying the same thing he said last week. And y'all still was committing sin in the street. Thank you, Napoleon. Hello, Mega Mew. Yeah. Going to church and these people ain't listening. They still committing sin in the church every day. Tell y'all same thing. Don't go out here doing bad things. God watching. And they still do it. And God still watching and looking like, wow, you really did commit that sin, and I told you don't do it. You really did. There we go. I hope y'all been enjoying my videos. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I've been making all kind of videos. Let me tell you something about people in my videos. I've been getting a lot of good comments, a lot of good feedback, a lot of good comments, and I appreciate all the comments. I started another channel with the dog Raven on TikTok called Emo Pup Raven. Let me tell you, the comments. These people love dogs and cats and just pets in general. I think people love dogs and cats more than human beings. They love dogs and cats and stuff. Anytime you post anything about dogs, I even posted a video of Raven on a walk yesterday. The other day, yesterday I posted it, and it got so many views within minutes. Of me posting Raven. They love some Raven. And I think some people accidentally subscribed to my channel. And then when they probably seen all the content on there, like, oh no, I don't want to subscribe to her channel because, she ain't talking about the dog all the time. Because, people love Raven, love watching her little walk, because she's sassy. She's friendly, but she is a sassy dog. I wish I could get some video of her at the doggy daycare, because it looks like she's in charge. Because she stands on the while all the dogs are running around. Raven will prop herself up on this I don't know what you want to call it. Some type of stool. It's not a stool. Some type of cushion thing that sits up high. And she will prop herself on top and look down on them. I've seen her do that several times. She looks down on the other dogs as they run around, scattered everywhere. She looks down on everybody. It's like, oh, you the leader. You the leader. You the leader in the in this thing. But I know she like playing with other dogs, but for some reason she looked down on the other ones. She's off the chain. She's a different kind of dog. But oh man, I messed that up. I gotta fix that. Now I gotta do a different. Now I gotta do my eye different. I messed. Okay, let's go. But anyway, yeah, Raven is now I need some black eyeshadow. Ugh, that was not what I was trying to do today. Oh, but yeah, so oh, I think that's how they came up with the smoky eye. Somebody messed up their eyeliner and they just went through and put some black on it or something. That's good enough for me. But yeah, Raven she's a different kind of dog. Now at first my stepfather, he didn't want no dog. He did not want no dog. But she has grown on him so much. She lays on him like a baby. He loved that dog. He walk her every day. They go walking all the time. He loved her to death. We need to get her a new leash. A new leash. But he loved that. He loved that dog. Where is my oh. He loved that dog. My sister, I was in the car with my sister, and she has a what? You got a lot of what? Jenny, are you confused? Anyway, I don't know about Jenny. But my sister we was in the car yesterday, and her boyfriend called her, and he's from Haiti. And she said, what are you doing? He said, I'm cooking. She had just brought some brand new pots and pans. She said, I'm cooking. He said, I'm cooking, She said, oh, you're not cooking in my brand new pot and pan, are you? My brand new pans I just brought. You're not cooking in that. And and I forgot what he said. And I said, why are you trying to police him and the pots and pans that he's using to cook his food? I said, he is from a different place. He don't care about your pot. He don't care if it was new or old. He don't care about that pot. That pot gonna get used. That pot gonna get used until the handle fall off. You might as well you shouldn't have brought new pots if you care about it that much, because They do not care about no pots. He gonna tear that pot up until the handle fall off. Okay. When I see people cook, especially stuff like jollof rice and a goosey soup and all that, them pots be beat down. Beat down. Just beat up, beat down. And it be the best food. They do not care about your new pot. Your new pot, what they got to do with them? I said, girl, you shouldn't have brought them new pots, because them pots about to, the handle about to come off them pots. You might as well just hang it up. Trying to police somebody. Don't buy it. Don't buy something new if you don't want people to use it. Don't bring it around. You don't want the person in your house to use your new pot. My own cousin, my cousin lives, moved in with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend lived with his mother, and then they all lived together. And the first thing that lady was said, don't use her pots. Don't use her pots. Don't use her pots. My thing is, if I'm living here, I'm using all the pots. I'm using every pot that's in this kitchen. I'm using all the pots, so you might as well leave me alone. I'm using your roaster. I'm using your crock pot. I'm using your frying pan. I'm using every pot that's in this house. Leave me alone. I don't know why people do that. I even had to learn to just for myself. I had to learn. My daughter would be making eggs. Boy, she know how to burn up an egg. I don't know where she got that from, because she didn't get it from me. I know how to fix breakfast and stuff. I fix breakfast very well. I don't know where she got that from. Just letting the egg just burn in the pan. I don't know where she got that from, but that's what she do. She let the stuff burn in the pan. So after a while, I just had to just let it go. Look, the pan meant to be used. What am I gonna do? Why am I catching a cold? Am I getting a sore throat? I don't know, but and I'm using police and pans. Cause you know what? You can't take the pans with you to the grave. You can't take them with you. You can't take no dishes with you to the grave. Why am my throat? Wait a second. I need something to drink. I don't know what's going on. Just like my auntie, she used to have like a what's it called? A china cabinet with all the dishes and all that stuff. My mama had one. Now that I think of it, my mama had one too. She had a china cabinet with dishes that you can't eat off of. You can't eat off the dishes. They just decoration. I never understood that. I never understood having a whole cabinet of dishes that you can't use at all. What is the point? She didn't even use them for a special occasion or nothing like that. It's like, why do you have a whole shrine of dishes that you can't touch and you can't use? I never understood that mentality. They even have some people, like, well, my grandma, she used to decorate her house. She used to have towels in the bathroom that you can't wipe your hands off on. She used to have her bed was set up with pillows that you ain't supposed to sleep on. Well, what's the point? What's the point of having pillows on the bed and you can't sleep on? What's the point of having all these towels in the bathroom and I'm supposed to just stare at them and look at them and be in awe and be like, oh, this is so pretty. but I can't wear my hands on them. It's very, I understand, but then I don't understand at the same time. Like, why are you putting the towels in a place where people need to wipe their hands? You know, the hand towel. They need to wipe their hands on the hand towel when they're coming out the bathroom, but they can't do that because you got decorative towels on the rack. Very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. I think I'm coming down with a cold. Am I coming down with a sore throat? Maybe so. I don't know. It could be. Oh my god. I don't want a sore throat though. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for no sore throat. If I get sick, y'all won't see me for about 3 days. You know, I don't want to come on here sick and do a half a job. That's not my style. So this is my... Oh, I need to put blush on. I need to... Where is my... I need to put this on. Oh, and then today is going to be a little bit of a busy evening. I have to make my cookie batches for Tuesday. So I got to make my batches of cookies. I got to make my, I'm making my brownies on Monday because I want them to be nice and soft. It was a man on TikTok that said he didn't like black women with red lipstick. Where did he get that from? That he don't like black women with red lipstick. That's all black women used to wear back in the when fashion fair was a thing. That's all black women used to do is wear red lipstick. I mean, now we have so many other colors and stuff like that, but that's what black women used to do is wear red lipstick. So what are you talking about? My mama been wearing red lipstick since I don't know when. It was no problem for her to wear a red lip. She loved a red lipstick. My grandma, that's all she wore was red lipstick. Red lipstick. And when she would put that red lipstick on, my grandma, she would transform. She would transform into a goddess. Oh, she looked so pretty. But that red lipstick, that red lip wasn't nothing to play with. She loved her red lipstick. I love red lipstick. At first I didn't. When I was younger, I used to fight against it. I used to wear dark black. I used to wear black lipstick. My grandpa, he was scared to death. He's like, oh my God, Chris. He would tell my grandma, Chris, you wearing that black lipstick. Something ain't right. I'm like, it's just a thing. What's the problem? Why can't I wear black lipstick? Why is it bothering you now I'm wearing black lipstick? What's the problem? He did not like that. He's like, she wearing that black lipstick. My grandpa also didn't like the fact that we walked around the house with no shoes or socks on. He didn't like that either. You know what I mean? He thought that was crazy. Hello, Billy. How you doing? Good morning. Welcome to church. Yeah, so My grandpa, he did not like at all you walk around with no socks and shoes on. He thought that was crazy. Then he would see me without socks and shoes on. He would step on my foot. Go upstairs, put your socks on, put your shoes on. I'm like, are you crazy? Did you just step on my foot? Did you just step on my foot? He would do stuff like that. I'm like, oh, you wilding. You wilding now. You just stepped on my foot. I know you crazy. He would do crazy stuff like that. I'm like, okay, my grandpa was off the chain. But he was great though. He was crazy and great all at the same time. So I did appreciate him at the end of the day. But he did not like us wearing black lipstick. He didn't like us wearing none of that crazy stuff. But he's not in charge. It was all girls against him. Everybody was a girl until my cousin was born when he came along. Other than that, my grandpa was surrounded by all girls. All his daughters, he had nothing but daughters. His wife, all his grandkids was girls until my cousin was born. He was the last one born. And up until then, it was just all girls. We ruined his life every day. Every day we was on him. I know he's like, damn, every day I'm dealing with girls. And I think that's a curse too. When you somebody out here doing crazy stuff or doing bad things, I think God turns around and gives you all girls. All girls just to make your life a little bit more challenging. A little bit more challenging. So if you got all girls, you probably did some crazy shit in your lifetime. You did something crazy out there, and God gave you all girls to create challenges for you every single day. Teach you a lesson. Whatever lesson need to be taught, teach you a good lesson. And there's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, it's Sunday. I know some of y'all going to church. Don't look at me for your church inspiration today. I'm not in church attire. Don't look at me for your church inspiration today. I'm not that. Talk to me next Sunday about Jesus. Today, don't talk to me about it. Talk to me about something else. Okay? This is not church attire. You wear this to church, they're going to ban you from the church. They're going to ban you from the church. They're going to say, you know what, sister so-and-so, I think you need to go home and change your clothes. Change your clothes, because what you got on ain't got nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think you guys, y'all gonna have to depend on yourself today for Jesus Christ, because I ain't wearing Jesus attire. Oh. Now you know what? You know who used to wear Jesus clothes? My cousin, her daddy, and her mama. They used to wear them denim skirts. I remember when they became apostolic. I said, what is that? Y'all apostolic. When did that happen? Y'all apostolic. They became apostolic. Started wearing long denim skirts all the way down to their ankles. Talking about they can't be out here cussing. My auntie would go around, instead of saying son of a bitch, she be talking about son of a biscuit. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? How y'all go from Baptist to apostolic? And then I went to church with them one time. They weren't even preaching out the Bible. They were reading a piece of paper. I said, where the Bible at? Ain't a Bible supposed to be at this church? No Bible in sight. It was a piece of paper. I said, I know something ain't right. I think the devil running this church. Because where the Bible at? And then the church was too quick. The service was too fast. I think we walked in there at 11. Church was over at 12. Might have been earlier than that. I said, God, we just got here. I just sat down. I just got my butt warm in the seat. I ain't even asked nobody for a piece of candy yet. And it's already time to go. I got dressed for this. I got dressed to come to this church, and it's only, we just got here, now it's over. I was kind of upset, like, oh no, this can't be a Jesus church. This can't be no church of God. Yeah, y'all only do 30-minute service. Fastest church service I ever been to. No, I take that back. I went to a church service that was called non-denominational. A non-denominational church. Now, if you've never been, when if you don't live in America, and you ever come to America, America is a place where you can visit as many different churches as you possibly want. I mean, you may go to your country, y'all only have one religion, one thing. Here in America, you can go to about 50, 90, 1,000 different kinds of religions and churches. You can go all the way from the Scientology, the alien. I think that's alien. That has something to do with alien Jesus, and then you got the Muslim. What's it? The Quran. You got all that. You got Hindu. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Don't quote me on how none of this stuff, but we got Baptist, we got Apostolic, we got Catholic, Christian. It's all kind of churches here in America. You can go to every last one of them and have a straight up different experience at every single church. But the non-denominational, I went there and I don't know what I was expecting, but it reminded me of like a cult. That's what it reminded me of, some type of cult. A very accepting cult, they just let you, they let you come on in, be as you are, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It was a different kind of experience. I had never been in a church like that. I had never been in a church. It was very diverse. It was a very diverse church, but it was I don't know. It was just something. It was something about that church that didn't sit right with me. First of all, it didn't last long either. That church didn't last long either. It was like maybe 20 minutes, and the church service was over. I said, "What kind of church is this? This is crazy too." What kind of church service only lasts 20 minutes? And then they didn't pass around no collection plate. I thought that was odd. I said, oh no. Oh, y'all ain't collecting no tithes and offering here? No Jesus collection? No money bowl, no money basket coming around the corner? None of that. This church didn't have no money basket, no tithes and offering, and I already knew we was off to a bad start. I said, oh no. I don't know what kind of church this is. I said, this can't be of God. Y'all ain't got no collection plate. Nobody collected no money at all. And then there was a half of a choir. It didn't feel like a full, robust choir. It was like a half a, maybe they let some people go. I don't know. It was like a half a choir in that church. I said, this is a different kind of church. The choir just, it ain't getting me going. That's why you come to church, to hear the choir too, to get you in the spirit, get you going, get your mind together. But that choir, I don't know what was going on there. And then afterwards, they want to single everybody out who's new, make you stand up and all this kind of stuff. I thought that was crazy. I'm not standing up. I'm not standing up. But then the crazy part is, I didn't stand up, but they knew I was new. Out of all the people in there, they knew I was new, and they pointed me out without me acknowledging that I was new to the church. They pointed me out. Oh, and we have a new visitor. It felt like I was in some type of alien cult or something like that. All of a sudden, everybody just turned around like, all at once and looked at me. I said, "Oh shit, this is crazy. What kind of church is this?" They all turned around, looked at me. I said, "Oh my God, where am I at? Let me get out of here." I could wait. I could wait to get to my car in the parking lot and go home. I just could not wait. I said, "This is too much for me. I don't know what kind of church this is." Are they pointing me out? Everybody turning around at the same time and all that kind of stuff. But that was non-denominational church. Hello, Mike. How you doing? So yeah. If you come to America, you can experience church like you experience fast food. It's all kind of churches here, all kind of denominations, all kind of religion. They probably even got cat church. They probably even got dog church. Who knows? America is full of surprises. You never know what's going on. Just look it up. I'm great, Mike. How are you doing? Yeah, just look it up. Look it up. You'll find all kind of churches to fit your specific needs. Cause that's what America do. It caters to your wildness, your craziness, your desires, your whatever it is you got in your mind. America already thought about it. You know what I mean? America already thought about it, and it's here. So you can practice 5 religions at one time. You don't have to just be stuck to one religion. Not in America. You could do 3, 4 different religions all at the same time. You know what I mean? Get yourself covered at all angles in the blood of Jesus. Under all the religions, make sure you get to heaven or where paradise or wherever you're supposed to be. You could be a Jehovah Witness at the same time. You could be a Christian and all that mixed in one. Cover all your bases. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Cover all especially if you've been a horrible person in your life. You need to get all the religions all over you. Every last one of them. At least cover yourself with Jehovah, the Quran, the Catholic, Christian, Baptist, Apostolic. You need to put all that on your whole body to ensure you get to the heavenly gates. Cover yourself like insurance, like car insurance. Do that. I'm pretty sure you'll get in. You got to practice. Think of it like a college course. You know what I mean? Just take all the courses to make sure you graduate to the pearly gates. Take all the courses. Take everything. That's the only way to get there, maybe. Especially if you've been a horrible person. Ask your family. Ask your mama now. Have you been a horrible person, most of your life? Just go to your mama, ask her, hey, honest question. Do you think I'm a horrible person or evil or whatever? Your mama, she gonna tell you the truth. Oh yeah, I knew you was evil since you was born. You was Malachi when you came out. I knew you was a horrible, horrible child. I barely made it myself trying to raise you. I barely made it. I barely made it. You know what I mean? But I was able to raise you. Yes, you horrible. You evil. Yeah. Yeah. I almost hurt you myself. So if your mama tell you that you horrible, you need to cover your all for one, through all at one time. You can do it all in America. America is a place of endless possibilities and opportunities. You can have 5 different jobs if you want to. You could be an accountant and a lawyer. You could be a doctor and a foot massager. You could be a florist and a mechanic at the same time. You could be a hairstylist and a chiropractor all in one. You could be a barbecue pit master, okay, and run a daycare at the same time. You could do so many different things. The possibilities are absolutely endless when it comes to America. America has all these different things that you can do to better your life, better yourself, all kinds of stuff. You know, if anything, if you come to America, that you come here to experience and explore different opportunities, because sometimes where you from, you're not allowed to do a lot of things. And so here, because of capitalism, we're able to do all these crazy things. You could sell pictures of your feet online, on your own account. You can have your own website, own blog, and or whatever, and talk about how you like to bake cakes for cats. You could bake a cake for cats and have a whole new business. Okay, you love baking cakes, but you only make them for cats. You might be a rock star online, selling these cakes and stuff like that. You could have business like that. You could be a plumber and electrician all at the same time. You could be working on boats underwater in the middle of the ocean. Maybe 6 months out of the year, and the other 6 months you out here, being a realtor. You know what I mean? You could do both in America. I don't know about nowhere else, but here in America, you can do 4 or 5 different opportunities all at one time, as long as your body has the energy to pour into it and to maintain motivation to go to both of these things. You know what I mean? We have all of that you can do. You can do 2 or 3 things. I think sometimes people limit themselves to one thing because they go to school. They go to school to get a degree, and then they say, "Oh God, I can't find a job as an engineer, so I can't be nothing. I can't find a job as an engineer, so I can't be nothing at all." That's not true. That's not true. There are plenty of things that an engineer could do besides being an engineer. You can use those skills to do something else. Okay, you could use you an engineer. You could use those skills to do all kinds of other things. Okay, all kinds of other opportunities and skills. And we have AI and ChatGPT now, and what's the other one? Copilot and Gemini. Tap into one of them and let them tell you what job, what skills, uh, um, where you can use your skills in different jobs and opportunities. Tap into that. Be smart about it. Don't just give up and say, "I'm an engineer and I can't find an engineer job." Go do something else. Try something else. Go be an accountant. I challenge you. You an engineer. You could take free classes online. Right now, tax season about to come up. Tax filing season. That's a big deal from January to April. From really December to April. That's a big deal. If you start now taking classes for free online, okay, free online at H&R Block or Inuit, TurboTax, those places they offer free classes. Learn to be a tax whatever person, accountant, tax whatever, a tax preparer, and you can be a tax preparer by December and be filing people taxes. You ain't got to deal with people. You ain't got to look at people. You could probably do it from home, at home, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, even though there's a lot of, even though H&R, like places like H&R Block and TurboTax have their own system and it's kind of easy to follow, the problem is people always have questions that are kind of outside of what the system can even answer. And so sometimes people feel more comfortable talking to a real person about their tax issues. Because there's sometimes things that they didn't plan for, or something came up, and or they forgot to file, or something like that. They forgot to do these things, and so now, they having all these issues. So, and they want to talk to a real person. So I challenge you. You're an engineer. Go do something else. Go file taxes. Go be an accountant. Go be a bookkeeper. Go do something totally on the opposite of your degree. Sometimes people go to school for journalism. They go to school for journalism and then they have a hard time, especially in this AI age of things. They have a hard time finding a job. But that doesn't mean you can't find something to do. You have to use your writing skills to your best ability, to your advantage. So what you could do, write books. You can write books. Write about stuff you passionate about. Open up you a Substack. There are people making thousands of dollars a month on Substack. Okay, you can't find a job somewhere. All you gotta do is open you a Substack account and start writing in there and start getting paid. And that's it. I mean, there's a lot of people making a lot of money on Substack. Open you a blog and talk about issues that are important to you, things that you are passionate about. Make money off of that. Okay? Use your journalistic skills. Right now, journalism is hot as an independent on social media. You become an independent journalist. You can make a lot of money just from social media to take care of yourself. So don't think just because you graduated from college, you think your degree is dead because so-and-so and so-and-so daddy company won't give you no job and all this kind of stuff. That doesn't mean life is over. That don't mean that you're not needed. You have to create the need sometimes. And so, building yourself up, creating your own website, blog, or whatever, do that. And if those platforms are too restrictive and restrict you from being creative and expressing yourself, you create your own website and you draw people to your platform, your own website, and you talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. If you want to talk about how so many cats are dying every day, talk about that. Talk about all the cats, dogs. Talk about people with a foot fungus in their feet. If that's what you're passionate about, talk about that. You know what I mean? Get your own blog, website, whatever it is, podcast. You can take your journalistic degree to all kind of levels. You could create a podcast and like a little radio show. Talk to talk to people. You can do that. All kind of stuff. You can also help in marketing. You can switch your journalistic degree to help in small businesses with their marketing. Because what are you doing as a journalist? You're researching, you're investigating, you're writing, you're exploring and all this kind of stuff. So what better way to use that skill is to help people market their business and all that kind of stuff. There are a lot of people out here who have businesses, and as you can see with Keith Lee, he has helped people get noticed because their marketing is so bad. Just by going to their restaurant, trying their food, and saying if it's good or not. And he has brought light to some of those businesses because sometimes people open businesses and they so focus on the food and that kind of stuff, especially in the food industry. So focused on the food, they forget about how to market and how to bring people into their restaurants, their businesses, or whatever. And so you as a journalist with a journalist degree, you can go in there and help businesses like that. You can be a little bit of Keith Lee. Keith Lee can only go to so many places. He only one person. But you can use your journalistic degree to help those businesses get noticed, get the clients or customers that they need to survive. So you can do that. So you got to learn how to transfer whatever you learn in college. Sometimes you don't end up doing those things in real life. It's not, most people end up doing something totally different than their degree, and that is fine. That is fine. Take your journalistic degree and go and market, help people, do something like that. And you'll probably feel good about it at the same time. It'll make you happy. It'll pour passion back into your life, all that kind of stuff. So you should do that kind of stuff. People with art degree, y'all here with art degree, and you crying about it, you can't get no job. Go do something else. You can help. You can also help small businesses too. They have problem with branding, logos, the whole nine. Some of these people have horrible websites, just horrible. You could turn your art degree into helping people create beautiful websites. And I know there's a lot of AI driven, website builders and all this kind of stuff to help people build websites. But you know what? Sometimes you need a personal touch. Sometimes you can't express to AI what exactly it is that you want. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need a real person to guide you and understand what is it that you really want for your business. And so that's where you come in. AI can only do so much with the instructions that they are given. And if the person is a business owner and they're not used to trying to brand and all that kind of stuff, they're not going to be able to tell AI exactly what they want for their business. And that's where you come in. You come in as a prompt master and help them build something and help them build a website, for their business that makes sense and, that kind of stuff. So if you're an art person, you still need it. You still need it. You have to find a different way of doing things. Either you take your art degree, you start making designs for clothes. You take your art degree and you start helping businesses. You take your art degree and become a hairstylist or something like that. You could be an artist, and all of a sudden you go from drawing paintings and stuff to creating nail designs, selling press-on nails. That's the new thing. Selling press-on nails is big business. So you can go from art to making customized nail designs, or you can start doing hairstyle. The best hairstylists are artists. They're real artists. Like, they can really draw and all this kind of stuff. So you could flip the switch and do that. You know what I mean? You could do that. You could be your own savior of your life. Don't sit there and think you can't do something else. You can always do something else. You know what I mean? Take your degree, take the skills, and use it towards something else. They go around telling people your degree is worthless. That's not true. That's not true. Just use it in some other way. You could become a master florist as an artist, you know, and make all these cool floral arrangements and stuff like that. Post it on social media so you could combine those. You could be a florist and a content creator at the same time and making money on both ends, making money from showing and viewing your content, and then making money from people placing orders with you for those floral designs and all that kind of stuff. So you have to take your degree and spin it around and let it stick in several different places. You just can't just um, give up and say your degree is worthless or whatever. You know how people be talking. You can't say that. You know, um, let yourself explore and experience different opportunities because of your degree, because of your art degree, your journalist degree, your writing degree, your whatever. And like, even if you went to school to be a doctor, but you really don't want to be a doctor, go be a mechanic. Go be a mechanic. You know why? Because you ain't got to deal with, you ain't got to deal with no health insurance claims or patients that can't pay. And you ain't got to deal with all that. Go be a mechanic. Turn your doctorate degree into a mechanical degree. Okay? Go do that. Go do something like that. You a surgeon, you probably be a good hairstylist. A surgeon, you don't want to be a surgeon no more. Go be a hairstylist. You know, you probably be the best hairstylist, probably highly detailed, because you gotta be detailed as a surgeon. You gotta be focused and pay attention. So, a surgeon could easily switch from that to being a hairstylist or um electrician or something like that, something that requires high detail. Hello, Billy, how you doing? Oh, why you change your name? So, you could always spin your career around on its head and try something new and different, something fun. You tired of being a lawyer, you tired of being a lawyer fighting cases and losing them all the time. Every week you losing cases. You're like, oh God, I lost another case this week. Oh man, what am I going to do? You could be the lawyer for small businesses. You know what I mean? You could transfer from corporate stuff down to dealing with just small businesses, or helping people, or becoming a consultant for small businesses and helping them navigate their legal paperwork or whatever that is. You could do that. You could also, what would a lawyer be good at too? A lawyer would be good at a lawyer. Muhammad, this is a live stream. Have you been to a live stream before? Um, a lawyer, a lawyer could be a lawyer. A lawyer could be, I don't know what a lawyer could be. A lawyer would be good at oh, I know what a lawyer could be. A lawyer could be good at selling vehicles. Yes. Yes, because you have to be not deceitful. I Not deceitful. I'm not saying that people that work at car dealerships are deceitful or anything like that. But if you a lawyer, you tired of being a lawyer, you definitely could be a car salesman and probably own the car dealership. You know what I mean? You could definitely transition to that easy peasy, easy peasy, because you understand law, you understand how to convince people of something. You understand those things, and so that's very important when you're in the car business as a car salesman or the owner of a car business. You got to be able to convince people, and what better person to convince people to buy that $80,000 Ford F-150 than a lawyer. A lawyer could do that easily, easy peasy. That's an easy job for a lawyer. And also sales. Sales, anything in sales, really, a lawyer could easily eat that up. Easy work. Easy work for a lawyer all day long. So if you tired, as a matter of fact, I've seen this happen in real time. Let's take it back to TikTok. I was on TikTok and there's this lady on there. You know, she is a lawyer. She a lawyer every day. Every day she would talk about being a lawyer, showing you her life as a lawyer. And then all of a sudden, she stopped talking about being a lawyer. And I said, "Damn, is she not a lawyer anymore?" And no, she went from lawyer to hairstylist, and she sells jewelry on TikTok shop. And she happy. She's very happy. She's so happy. The smile on her face every time. She is thrilled. She do hair and sell jewelry. That's it. That's it. And she probably making a killing. She probably making a lot of money too. So she went from a lawyer to doing hair and selling jewelry for peace of mind, probably. You know, sometimes being a lawyer probably very stressful. Trying to win a case, especially if you a defense attorney and you know your client guilty as hell. He done shot up the whole house. You have all the evidence that he did it. Trying to defend somebody that you know going to jail. That's probably a very stressful kind of job. And to prosecute people and all, I mean, being a prosecutor and all that stuff is probably highly, highly stressful and competitive. And so she decided to take herself out of that world and put herself in a peaceful environment. You know, doing hair because people feel good when they get their hair done. And then the jewelry, you know, she loved jewelry, so she started selling jewelry. You know, and you can do that. You can transition from your crazy job into something peaceful. Retire early into peace. Everybody talks about retirement. They talk about I want to retire. I want to retire. You can retire early, but not in the sense that you just quit and you just sit at home and you just sitting on some money. You can retire into a low stressful job, a low stressful business, okay? Say you've been working at a warehouse most of your life, 25 years, you've been putting it in. Forklift your ass off all the time. You've been dealing with Tony and all them, and every week you see Tony and them sleeping with Sarah in the back room, and you tired of that environment. You tired of co-workers not pulling their weight, not doing their job and all that. You've been there all this time and your boss is full of shit every week. Every week he talking a man change to you all the time. Hello, Dream Maker, how you doing? You got that boss talking cash shit to you every week. You want to punch him in the face all the time, but you don't do it because you need your check. That kind of environment that almost make you want to go to jail. You need to transition out of that real quick. And what better thing to do? You go from warehouse to, I don't know, just something easier. Something like owning a barbecue pit restaurant or a food truck. You know, warehouse people are used to endurance. They're used to the heaviness of things. They're used to long hours and stuff like that. But going from working in the warehouse to maybe having a food truck, selling barbecue, something you may like to do, stuff like that. Selling your grandma's caramel pecan cheesecake alongside your good ribs and cornbread and stuff that people love to eat. People enjoy and will drive miles for comfort foods and stuff like that. So you could go from that, working in that horrible warehouse with all those nasty men that don't wash their hands sometimes. You could take that energy and go open you a food truck, start selling barbecue slabs of ribs and macaroni and cheese and all that shit. You could do that and be happy. Wake up with a smile on your face. Wake up because you're doing something that you want to do. You making money on your terms. You don't have to answer to a boss. You ain't got to listen to nobody. You ain't got to hear nobody. You ain't got to hear nobody telling you can't take no damn vacation. Oh, you going to take off. Oh no, you can't take off this week. Tony didn't come in. Tony, da, da, da. You ain't got to listen to that. You can do whatever you want to do. You may go from a warehouse to tailoring suits. You love suits. And when you off work from the warehouse and you got free time, you love to put on your suit, go out, do things, and you really obsessed with the whole suit thing. You may become a tailor. You may become a man that sells suits. You know what I mean? You love shoes. You love a good you love a good alligator looking shoe and all that stuff. You love a good dress shoe. You know what I mean? You may go from working in the warehouse to selling shoes. And maybe you had the kind of feet that's so big and wide or something, and every time you buy a dress shoe, it always hurt your foot. And you say to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna make a shoe. I make a shoe for a big foot, cause I'm tired of my big old hammer toes just crammed in these damn shoes. And you create your own shoe. It starts with one idea, one problem, and that leads to, you creating your own passion out here in life. You have to start with something. You may be a man, you may work at the warehouse all the time, your back always hurting. Every time you're at the warehouse, you on the forklift, your back hurt, and now, your girlfriend, your wife is complaining because you can't put in the work like you used to because your back hurting all the time and all this kind of stuff. You may create a shirt, a shirt, a shirt, not one of those back braces, but maybe a shirt that supports your back. Okay, you may create a shirt that supports your back, that's fashionable, that looks good, but it also supports your back. And so now you look good, you feel great, and it kind of fix or corrects some of the pains that's in your back. You may create a shirt like that, and then you have your own business and stuff like that. Sometimes it starts with your own problems, your own whatever problem you had at that warehouse with the shoes, the back pain, your maybe you kept losing your wallet all the time at your job, and that kind of stuff. Are you a person who lose their car keys all the time? Maybe you have a solution for that. Write all your ideas down, write all your problems down, because they may be the way out of your misery. You know what I mean? You've been miserable at this job. Okay, and for all the mechanics out there who y'all tired of fixing the same old brakes, the brake changes and all this kind of stuff. Every time you come in, somebody, car, all the rotors are ate up, tore down. You know what I mean? You tired of looking at the same shit, oil change, no oil in the car, all of that. You can't take it no more. Then you get your boss telling you all the time, you didn't do that oil change right, you didn't do this right, or you didn't put the battery back. They can't start their car, there ain't no battery in it and all. You got all that going on as a mechanic. Maybe you need to transition to something else a little bit softer, easier, or something like that. You can also take a hard labor person and transition them into an office position. You know what I mean? You may go from fixing cars to fixing people credit. You know what I mean? People always need their credit fixed all the time. You may go from fixing brakes to fixing credit. You may go from fixing brakes to fixing relationships. You may become a therapist. You know, you don't know. You got to take your skills and put it in something else and use that as retirement. Say to yourself, I'm retired now. You know, get you something easy to transition into so that you can feel good about your life, so that you're not down and depressed, so you don't think that there's no other way out. Transition into something that is a value, that is worthwhile, that motivates you to get up every single day, especially if you are dealing with misery where you are now in life. And that's my message for today. So I hope you guys have a great day. I think I have given enough of myself today. I like my hair. It's cute. But anyway, you guys have a great day. I am going to enjoy the rest of my day. I got baked cookies and stuff. So, yeah. Bye.